Thursday, October 2nd, 2025. Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, dawned with a sense of reverence and anticipation. For Jews around the world, this was not just another day, but the spiritual pinnacle of the year, a time set aside for deep reflection, prayer, and the hope of forgiveness. It was meant to be a day of peace and reflection for Jews worldwide, a sacred pause from the noise of daily life, where the soul could seek renewal. In Manchester, the Heaton Park Hebrew congregation synagogue was filled with worshippers, many elderly, gathered for solemn prayer and fasting. The air was thick with tradition, as generations came together under one roof. The synagogue, a sanctuary for generations, was alive with ancient prayers and the quiet presence of families. Children sat beside parents and grandparents, learning the rituals that had been passed down for centuries. Security was present, but the focus was on faith, not fear. The community trusted in the sanctity of the day and the safety of their sacred space. Outside, the autumn air was crisp as people arrived, greeting each other quietly. The golden leaves underfoot seemed to echo the solemnity of the occasion. The fast, begun the night before, deepened the day's humility and introspection. Each rumbling stomach was a reminder of the spiritual journey underway. The community felt united, bound by tradition and hope for renewal. In those moments, differences faded, replaced by a shared yearning for forgiveness and peace. But this peace was about to be shattered in a way no one could have imagined. The sanctity of the day would soon be violated by an act of unimaginable violence. Yom Kippur is the holiest day in Judaism, a time to seek forgiveness and start anew. It is a day when the community stands together, hearts open, hoping for a better year. The gathering at the synagogue reinforced bonds of faith and identity, reminding everyone of their shared past and collective future. On this day, the community felt most connected to their history and each other, drawing strength from the presence of both elders and children. The attack that followed was not just violence against individuals, it was an assault on the very heart of Jewish life, a wound inflicted on a people and their traditions. It was time to inflict maximum pain on the holiest of days, leaving a scar that would be felt for generations to come. At 9:30 a.m., the sacred calm of the synagogue was shattered without warning. What began as a peaceful morning of prayer and reflection was instantly transformed into a scene of chaos and fear. A car suddenly sped onto the pavement outside the synagogue, ploughing into worshippers gathered near the entrance. In an instant, the air filled with screams, confusion, and disbelief as people scrambled for safety, not yet understanding the full horror unfolding before them. The attacker, Jihad al-Shami, emerged from the vehicle, brandishing a knife and wearing what appeared to be an explosive vest. His presence sent a wave of terror through the crowd, as many feared the worst was yet to come. Without hesitation, he began stabbing indiscriminately, targeting the wounded and anyone nearby. Panic spread as people desperately tried to escape, some helping the injured while others searched for loved ones in the chaos. His intent was unmistakable: to cause maximum harm and terror, leaving a community forever changed in just a few moments. He tried to force his way into the synagogue itself, where many more, including children, the elderly, and entire families, were gathered for morning prayers, unaware of the danger just outside. Police arrived within minutes, their sirens piercing the morning air. They confronted the attacker as he continued his rampage, risking their own lives to protect those still inside. Commands to drop his weapon were shouted, but the attacker ignored them. With no other choice, officers were forced to shoot, ending the immediate threat. The suspect was killed at the scene, bringing the terrifying ordeal to a close, but leaving behind a trail of devastation and unanswered questions. The entire attack unfolded in just minutes, but for those present, every second felt endless, a nightmare that would haunt them for years to come. The swift and courageous police response undoubtedly saved many lives. But for survivors and the community, the trauma was only beginning to surface. As investigators secured the area and began piecing together the events, the focus shifted to helping victims, supporting families, and beginning the long process of healing after a mourning that would never be forgotten. The attack left 2 Jewish men dead, beloved members of the congregation, mourned by families and friends. Several others, including a security guard, were seriously injured and rushed to hospital. Survivors faced a long road to physical and emotional recovery. The attacker, a British citizen of Syrian descent, was killed by police. He was not known to counter-radicalization authorities, raising urgent questions about missed warning signs. The explosive vest was fake, designed to amplify terror. The impact rippled far beyond the wounded. Every congregant, every Jewish family in Manchester felt the shock. The sense of safety in a sacred space was shattered. Parents struggled to explain the unthinkable to their children. The trauma inflicted on the community will take years to heal. Emergency services responded with remarkable speed and precision, arriving at the scene within minutes of the first alert. Their swift actions were crucial in containing the situation and preventing further chaos. Police quickly declared a major incident and activated the National Terror Protocol, known as PLATO, mobilizing specialized units and resources from across the city. Bomb disposal teams moved in, evacuating and securing the area. They worked methodically to assess the threat, ultimately determining that the vest found on the suspect was not viable, easing immediate fears. As a precaution, a controlled explosion was carried out on the suspect's car, ensuring there were no hidden dangers that could harm bystanders or responders. The investigation was immediately declared a terrorist incident, with counter-terrorism units taking command and coordinating efforts with intelligence agencies. Police began meticulously piecing together the attacker's background, searching for clues about motives and any possible network of accomplices. In the hours that followed, 3 others were arrested on suspicion of preparing acts of terrorism, making it clear that the threat was not isolated and that authorities were determined to act swiftly. The response was about more than just ending the attack. It was about restoring a sense of safety and protecting the community from further harm, reassuring those affected that they were not alone. Law enforcement sent a clear and powerful message. Terrorism would be met with the full force of the law, and the safety of the public would always be their top priority. Amid the terror, acts of bravery shone through. Security guards and congregants blocked the attacker from entering the main prayer hall, protecting dozens inside. Their actions, at great personal risk, saved countless lives. One guard was seriously injured, a testament to the danger they faced. These guards, often volunteers, are the first line of defense for Jewish communities. Their courage was widely praised by police and community leaders. By holding the attacker back, they bought precious time for police to intervene. Their bravery stands in stark contrast to the hatred that fueled the attack. In the darkest moments, the community's spirit of mutual protection prevailed. Their actions will be remembered as a symbol of resistance and hope. News of the attack sent shockwaves across the UK and beyond. Prime Minister Keir Starmer returned to London, chaired an emergency meeting, and condemned the assault as a vile act of anti-Semitism. He promised increased police protection for Jewish sites nationwide. The royal family expressed deep sorrow, offering comfort to the grieving community. International leaders, including France's President Macron, voiced solidarity and support. Israeli officials, while expressing condolences, criticised the UK's efforts against rising anti-Semitism. The attack was seen as both a national tragedy and a warning to the world. Sympathy, solidarity, and urgent calls for action echoed globally. the message was clear: hate would not be tolerated. The attack did not happen in isolation. It came amid a surge in anti-Semitism across the UK and Europe. Since the 2023 Hamas-Israel conflict, Jewish communities have faced escalating threats, abuse, and violence. Over 3,500 anti-Semitic incidents were reported in 2024 alone. Many Jews now hide their identity in public, and security at synagogues is a grim necessity. Community leaders warned for months that such violence felt inevitable. The attack confirmed their worst fears, turning anxiety into reality. It's a stark reminder that hate speech and extremism can lead to deadly violence. The Jewish community's response was a mix of grief, fear, and resilience. Leaders called the attack every Jewish person's worst nightmare, a violation of sacred space. The sense of safety was shattered, but the community rallied together. The Community Security Trust worked with police to support and protect residents. Vigils were held, uniting people in mourning and defiance. Stories of bravery became a source of strength. The narrative was not just one of victimhood, but of defiance and unity. The community vowed to mourn, heal, and stand together in faith. The path forward must be one of unity and hope. The attack was not just on Jews, but on the values of tolerance and peace. Solidarity from all communities is essential. Promises of security and action against hate must be kept. Healing will take time, but resilience and support will light the way. The memory of the victims must inspire greater compassion and unity. Only together can we build a society where everyone can worship in peace, free from fear.